Peace and love, fam. I know it's been a minute, but I have been sitting with something that I needed to understand before my return. So now here I am, and let me tell you, not every season requires acceleration. And this season taught me to slow down. Okay. So for a while, I was very comfortable in pretty much everything I was doing in my whole routine. I had my job, my family. I ain't had no specific pace though. But as soon as I started moving with purpose, trying to build in my purpose, all hell broke loose. This season started shifting things a lot for me, like shifting things around. My job situation changed, my position shifted, and I was crashing out being on the phones and then trying to take care of a toddler at the same time, my 1 year old. Then my car situation kind of forced me to stay home more, and financially, I had to pay attention to things that we used to ignore. On top of that, I had miscarriages and then a current pregnancy now, as you can see. So it made me look at my health a lot and my healing a lot deeper and with much more seriousness too, I would say, because it's been a lot. So all of those things together forced me to slow down. And I can say when I couldn't move the way I used to move, I started analyzing and I decided to do something different than what I usually do. Instead of complaining about things, I started focusing on the now, the present, making my home a place of peace as I was at home more often. Focusing on healing since I was going through a lot of miscarriages. Actually being grateful for what was actually in front of me instead of just crashing out and wishing for everything to be different. Then that's when I started realizing I had been praying for this pretty much. All of this change, a strong foundation to no longer live in survival mode. And sometimes when you're praying for a foundation, God doesn't just speed things up the way you want Him to. Instead, He slows things down so you can build. You have to learn to listen and to practice discernment. Now, slowing down caused a lot of it made me see a lot of things, a lot of issues, a lot of things that needed to be fixed. A lot of fears surfaced. And most of all, I would say my fear of being judged, fear of not being ready or being seen not ready, fear of being compared to others. I was just pretty much becoming wrapped up in performing. My fear of speaking was the main thing that surfaced. Fear of speaking out of fear of showing vulnerability or out of fear of humility. And I learned a lot of things, a lot of other things when I slowed down. On top of my fear surfacing is making me actually be able to analyze and to be able to recognize my triggers. I did learn that I was confusing urgency with obedience. Pretty much, I was afraid of falling behind. The world sets this pace for you, this fantasy pace, where you only really see people succeeding and what they accomplish. But you never really see the small steps, the small part in this. So I was trying to build a next level life while my foundation wasn't stable at all. So I was really moving faster than my nervous system could hold at the moment. Healing is identity and nervous system, mentally, physically, all of that together. I learned I wasn't just inconsistent, but I was also dysregulated. Healing is deeper than herbs, plants. Now plants do regulate the body, but identity regulates your nervous system, and your nervous system determines healing. So overall, that's holistic health, healing as a whole, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. This season was my construction season. I was building the capacity to be able to hold what I asked for, what God will be blessing me with in the future. I was focusing on embodiment, basically embodying the life that I have, embodying the person that I'm becoming. So my identity, it did have to grow, and before life expanded. So if I was able to see if it wasn't solid, then my visibility was threatened, and then my nervous system panicked, and then I shrink, and then it's a cycle. I had to embody my new identity. I've spoke on healing, alignment, trusting God's timing, and this season really actually made me do those things. It made me live those things. Overall, to wrap things up, after I surrendered, I began to move differently, to think more clearly, and I became a lot more aware. I thought I focused on just healing. I did a lot of journaling, accepting my slow days for what they were, but I still moved in them with attention. I did also practice my breath work too. That works. Meditation, journaling, and just your breath work, longer exhales. It don't seem like a lot at first, but slowly but surely, if once you become more aware of yourself and your body, you're able to see where it actually helps. I can see it anyway. But like I said, I was becoming more aware. See, God slowed me down to prepare me for the things that I've been praying for. I was being positioned pretty much. This is like I said, my construction season. I've been praying for freedom, for land, for legacy, for a life that isn't built on survival. But all of those things require foundation. They require capacity. And one thing this season taught me was that comfort was competing with my calling. I ain't like that. We didn't want that. But the job pressure, the financial stress, the car situation, even the season of loss and pregnancy, all of that forced me to slow down and face what was actually being built inside within me. So now, I do understand. Honor the pace your current season requires, because what's meant for you will meet you. What's meant for you will meet you there. I'm now letting God lead the pace, and I'm learning to embody who I am, who I'm becoming, the life I was given and been praying for. I hope that this video can push you guys or help others to understand that everybody have a season. Find your pace, anchor yourself, pivot, but live within your season, within your means. And never confuse delay with stillness, and never confuse urgency with obedience. And in this next video, I do want to show you guys some things that supported me during this season. The herbs, the routines, the tools that help regulate my nervous system while I was learning this lesson. So stay tuned.